All right, last but not least, example 3 here. And notice this one is not asking me to write a recursive rule. This one's just asking me to like evaluate a recursive rule, basically what we did yesterday. So this is basically what we did yesterday. Not yesterday, let's just say last lesson. So what this is 8-5, so 8-4. So if a sub n is equal to n times a sub n minus 1 and a sub 1 is equal to 1, what is a sub 5? So do not just make the assumption that, because a sub 1 is 1, that a sub 5 is going to be 5. That's not a good assumption to make. You know what they say when you assume. So if there's, and you know what, you can actually go ahead and if you feel like, maybe the first thing you're going to do is plug in that 5 for n. Notice what happens. So notice I'm rewriting this equation, and everywhere I see an n, I'm just replacing it with 5 because they're asking me for a sub 5. So a sub 5 is equal to 5 times a sub 4. So you can see that I can't figure out what a sub 4 is, or sorry, I can't figure out what a sub 5 is until I know a sub 4. Okay, so then maybe you think that I need to figure out a sub 4 next. So a sub 4 is equal to, remember, everywhere I see an n, I'm replacing it with 4 now because that's the next piece I'm looking for. And you'll be realizing because this is recursive, I cannot figure out, I can't just start with 4 or 5. I have to start with what they give me. Notice they're giving us a sub 1. So that means we know what a sub 1 is. So the next logical thing that we'll be able to plug in and find here is going to be a sub 2. I do just want to keep this in order because otherwise I'm going to be annoyed that it's not in order. So I'll just prove again that if I plug in 3 before going with 2, that's not going to get me any closer to what I want because I can't find a sub 3 until I know a sub 2. So a sub 2 is equal to 2 times, and again, everywhere I see an n, I'm replacing it with that 2 because I'm looking for a sub 2 now. Okay. Now we can figure out a sub 2 because they told us what a sub 1 was. They gave us that a sub 1 of 1. I'm going to just change that to green. So in for a sub 1, we get to put 1. So a sub 2 is equal to 2 times 1, which is 2. Again here, yes, a sub 2 is equal to 2, and that pattern is continuing 2 in a row. Do not make the assumption that a sub 3 is going to be 3. Notice I can find a sub 3 now because I know that a sub 2 is 2, and here we have our pattern breaking. 3 times 2 is 6. So a perfect example of why you don't make assumptions. So now I can find a sub 4 because I know that a sub 3 is 6, leaving me with a sub 4. 6 times 4 is 24, which I can now use over here to find my a sub 5. A sub 5 is going to be equal to 5 times 24, which is 120. So a sub 5 is equal to 120. And that's the one they were looking for, so that's the one I'm highlighting.